Hey kids, wanted to make this video to show you how to put on slide grease on your trumpet or trombone correctly. Let me do trombone first because it's the easiest one. You guys only have one slide to do. So your tuning slide grease, you might have different kinds. You might have some that looks kind of like this, that looks like chapstick. It says slide grease on it, right? You might have something like that. You might have something in a little jar like this that says tuning slide grease. There's lots of different kinds. It doesn't matter. Just make sure it says slide grease on it somewhere. Okay, so trombones, I'm going to go ahead and take the slide off here. Put that down gently. So you do not put slide grease on this slide, okay? You put your slide oil on this slide, okay? That's very, very important. You do not grease your playing slide. That's very, very bad because then it will move very slowly and you don't want it to move slowly. The only thing that you put grease on a trombone is this guy, okay? This thing right here. And this slides out. The best way to do it is you kind of hold it like this and push with your thumbs, okay? And be gentle. You want to make sure you don't accidentally ding your trombone, while you're doing this. If this is kind of stuck, get your parents to help you, okay? Do not hit it with a stick. Don't hit it with a hammer. Don't get a string and start pulling because you could easily break something. If it's stuck and even your parents can't get it unstuck, just shoot me an email and we'll do a Google Meet and I'll try to help you, okay? So you take a paper towel and you wipe down the slides that are not shiny. See how you've got like the shiny outside, looks like shiny paint, and then you've got this that's like raw metal. So you're gonna put grease on the raw metal parts. First you gotta wipe it down, okay, and get all the old dirty stuff off of there. And then you take your slide grease, and again you can use either one of these, it's fine. If you use something in a jar like this, you can use a paintbrush or you can use your finger if you want, just don't wipe it on your clothes. I'm going to use this stuff, so I'm just going to put a little bit on there. Now here's the general rule that I use with this. If you can see it, you're putting too much on. Okay, so I'm going to put just a little bit on, then I'm going to smear it around with my finger. Get it, make sure the whole thing is covered. And by the time I smear it around, I can't see anything. Okay, I can't really see it. This stuff shouldn't be caked on there like butter. All right, you're not buttering your bread here. It's just a little bit of grease. And by the way, you want to do this about once every. This stuff should last probably a couple of weeks. I'd say at least 2 weeks. So I'd do this at least every 2 or 3 weeks. Probably is good. And then we just gently put it back in. Don't force it. Okay. You can kind of use your finger to help guide it in, and then just sort of wiggle it while you push it in, and there you go. Okay. And your tuning slide while you're playing should be out about 1/2 inch, okay? It shouldn't be all the way in, or your instrument's going to be out of tune, and it's going to be hard to play the right notes, okay? So that's trombone. That's the only thing that you put grease on for trombone. Trumpets, we got a little bit more to do. You've actually got 4 slides that you need to grease. But it's the same process, okay? The first one is your main tuning slide here. So you pull that out. Again, if it's kind of stuck, you can sort of try to grab it here and use your thumbs. Please don't hit it with anything. And also, if you sort of wiggle while you pull, okay, wiggle it while you pull out. Sometimes that helps. The big trick is to keep grease on it so that it never gets stuck in the first place. Boy, that's dented. Need to fix that. So I'm going to take my paper towel. I see there's some grease built up inside the tube there, so I'm going to sort of try to pick that out a little bit with a paper towel, because that's not good. But all right, so I'm going to wipe it down, and same thing. Put a little bit on there, and then smear it around with my finger. And then set it back in. Now, as I try to push this back in, it's not really lining up, so I'm going to take my thumb, see how this, I put the bottom, sorry, my hand's in the way. Okay, let me try this again. I put the bottom slide in first, because it's longer, and now the top slide isn't really lined up properly, okay? So while I push, I'm going to kind of take my finger and just sort of lift that up a little bit to help line it up and push it in, okay? If you're having trouble with this, just show this video to your parents and get them to help you, okay? All right, so I've done the main tuning slide, and again, that should be sticking out about 1/2 inch. It doesn't go all the way in while you're playing. It goes out like this. Otherwise, your instrument's going to be out of tune. Now, I've got to do 3 more slides. I've got to do this one, and this one. So I'm going to, while I do the first slide, just like when you oil your valves, I'm going to push the button down and pull this out. Set it down gently. Make sure, it's good to have, I don't have one right now, but it's good to have something soft, like roll up a towel or something, so when you don't want to hit this on the table and dent it, okay? Wipe this down. Again, wipe it down. And I'm oiling, or I'm greasing the inner slides, right? The part that doesn't look like shiny paint. There's a tube that goes on the outside, and there's a tube that goes on the inside. I'm putting grease on the inside, right? So here, and again, I'm just going to put a little bit on and then smear it around with my finger. And here. Okay. Once you get the hang of this, it should only take 2 or 3 minutes to do all 4 slides. So I do that, I do the middle slide, right? Same thing here. Wipe it down, a little grease. Okay, and then the third slide, pushing down the third button while I do this. Yeah, this one has not been greased in a while. Pulling this out, wipe it down, get this out of the way. Okay, put that on, thing, smear it around. And that's it. So now I've done a total of 4 slides, right, on the trumpet. Okay, see how I push that back in while I'm holding the button down, right? Okay. And that's it. And you want to do this again about every 2 or 3 weeks. And then you'll be good to go. Okay? And then wipe that grease off my finger, not on my clothes. Because man, it will not come out of your clothes, no matter how many times you wash it. So don't do that. Okay? And yeah, that's it. If you have any questions, email me or whatever, and I'm always happy to help you. Okay? All right. Bye bye.